Okay, here we are. And we are live and nobody's watching, which is fine because I'm not really here to say much of anything. So I guess I'm just sitting here. It's a Saturday night. Well, if you're watching this live, you know that. So I'm just sitting here with a hazy IPA. And live streaming seems to be the wave of the future. So I've been doing this for 14 years. I've got, I guess, a couple hundred videos up already, and I have nearly 4,000 subscribers, but I've never done a live stream before. So hopefully, you're not expecting much out of this. One thing I don't understand, and I just started screwing around with this a few minutes ago. I don't understand the functionality of this. There's a little sound bar at the bottom that tells me my microphone's working, but for some reason I don't hear myself speaking. So I guess a lot of people are using. Good evening, Super Dark Bringer. How are you this evening? Um, I don't know. I guess a lot of people that are doing live streaming, even here on YouTube, are using third-party streaming software because the functionality of this, which is built into YouTube, is just terrible. Why I can't hear myself? I see most people streaming wearing studio headphones, and these are good quality Sony Studio Monitor headphones, but I can't hear a thing. Do you hear me all right, Super Dark Bringer? I hope so. Anyway, this is just a quick test stream. I don't know how long I will stay on here, but well, that's great. And but apparently, this is the wave of the future, or I'm actually way behind the curve, no doubt. This is the wave of now. And well, that's interesting because I'm not using a microphone or anything like that. I'm not using an external camera. I'm just using the camera in my MacBook and the built-in microphone. So um, I've been doing this for 14 years. You need a minimum of 50 subscribers to do a live stream, and I'm kind of creeping up on 4,000 subscribers. So I thought I would log on and do a live stream and just see if anybody checks in. And so far, I've got a good friend on here, and that's it. This is kind of interesting because there's a little, uh, not that good friends aren't all you need in this world, but there is a little counter at the top that shows me how many people are in here, and a little thumbs up icon telling me people. It is the wave of the future, and I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. I think I might try some third-party streaming software. I did tell my dad that I was gonna do a test stream this evening, and oh, I see a second person is on the stream, so that's interesting. But if I have 4,000 subscribers and I put up a live stream and I get two people, now we've only been on for 4 minutes, but I get two people in the stream, um, and the minimum number of subscribers you need is 50. I can't imagine there would be a whole lot of point in live streaming with 50 subscribers, but um, so I don't know how long this is going to last. Do you have any questions for me, Super Darkbringer? Since you're the only person chatting so far. Nothing obscene, by the way. Pakistani 9 millimeter. What, the submachine gun or the stupid ammo I was trying to shoot? Um, I don't think there's any Pakistani submachine guns available, and the ammo. Well, I can talk a little bit about the ammo, or if anybody watched that video, which was my most recent actual video I posted, I was trying for the second time, rather unsuccessfully, to shoot some Pakistan Ordnance Factory 9 by 19 NATO, which is designated with a 2Z on the head stamp, and that indicates that it was submachine gun ammo. Now, and this is military surplus ammo. It was made in 1974. People have had mixed results with some of this. Some of the same 2Z ammo that was made in the 1980s was really, really terrible stuff. It was either extremely hot or it barely would go off. So, you'd get an explosion and then you'd get a pop, and then it was just terrible. The stuff I have is actually reported to be pretty good, but it has extremely hard primers. And that's true of a lot of 9 millimeter NATO surplus and other surplus ammo. Very, very hard primers. The reason that the submachine gun primer is extremely hard and very difficult to detonate is because machine guns or submachine guns generally fire from an open bolt. There's a fixed firing pin on the bolt face, which it's just basically a little nubbin that sticks out there. When the bolt slams home and it chambers around and slams, it picks up a round off of the magazine, chambers around and slams shut. You've got the enormous weight of this solid steel bolt slamming shut, and obviously they don't want the ammo to detonate before it has chambered. So you don't want it to pick up that round and hit that with the fixed firing pin, to hit the primer so hard that it goes bang before when it's still in the ejection port before it gets into the chamber. So they make them extremely hard. And I was trying to shoot that ammo with my Glock, my old Gen 2 Glock 17, which I have a Wolf extra power striker spring in it. It's like, I think the standard striker spring weight on a Glock is like 14 pounds, and this is 16 pounds, and I couldn't get a single round to go bang. And so I took two hammer fired guns out, and I had a little bit. The primers on the duds were definitely well dented. I don't really understand the mechanics. Well, I do understand the mechanics of a primer. You've got an anvil inside the primer, and which has priming compound on it. Either that or the inside of the top layer of the primer has priming compound on it, and when the firing pin hits the flat surface of the primer, the inner surface of the primer hits that anvil and it causes that compound to detonate. It used to be fulminated mercury. Now they use other sorts of chemistry to get that, because fulminated mercury is quite corrosive. It forms acids that can severely erode the bore of your barrel. It can rust your gun and everything. So they don't use mercury anymore. But there's some other sort of uh, compound that will detonate on impact. Now, what makes hard primers hard? I don't think is I don't think that the primers are mechanically harder than they would be in, say, normal commercial ammo. I think hard primers, they use a compound which is less likely to detonate under a slight impact. It needs, a harder hit to get it to detonate. So the primers were dented perfectly fine. They look like they would, if this had been commercial 9 millimeter ammo, every single one of them would have gone off, even when I was shooting with the Glock. But the compound that they use is, I guess, more stable than it would be in commercial ammo. that was not meant for use in submachine guns. So I guess we've been at this for 10 minutes. I still have two people watching. So this is basically, again, just an experiment. I wanted to see how this works. Is the lighting okay? I'm just sitting in my living room in front of my new brick wall and my wife's lovely new gossamer curtains back here. Okay, well, that's good to know. So I will, if and when, well, not if, when I do another live stream, I will be prepared with some sort of subject matter. This is really just a functionality test, and also a test to see. Oh, there's three people in here now. So a functionality test and a test to see if people. Now we're back down to two people. So a functionality test and just to see how everything works here and to see if people would actually be interested. I guess when I end the stream, it will remain up on my channel as under content. So it'll be somewhere adjacent to shorts and actual videos. So if anyone sees this and they have interest in further live streams, I will be happy to endeavor to do those. It's very difficult, actually. It was difficult for me when I first started making videos, talking to a camera. Um, Especially when you're not talking to anybody at all. You don't know if anyone will ever actually see what you're doing. And I feel very self-conscious talking to a camera. Now I know I have two people at least watching this, but it's still very difficult because it's not an actual conversation going on. I can respond to chats in the chat stream, but I understand why when people do podcasts and they're doing lot or live streams that are very, very successful, it's people sitting down and having a conversation with somebody else in the same studio space because this is actually a very awkward sort of format. But channel your OnlyFans. The problem with channeling my OnlyFans is I can't get my ankles up behind the back of my head anymore. I used to be able to do that. Plus, it's a little chilly in here. I still haven't fired up the coal boiler, so I think if I went full blown OnlyFans, I might catch pneumonia or something. But all right, well, for those of you who did tune in, unless you've got any additional questions, I think we'll cut this short. This has been interesting. I just had no idea how this process worked, and it is fairly simple. So, and my next door neighbor's little yappy shit dog is barking his head off. I don't know if you can hear that. So anyway, this was interesting, and I promise I'll be more prepared with actual content on my next live stream, or at least have some idea of what I can talk about before I get started. But I guess with that, I'll bid you all adieu. Have a lovely evening, and I will catch you on the next one. Good night, guys.